Oh, yeah. The time the US military decided to play Mythbusters, skipped the small scale, went straight to blowing up the cement truck. On September 20th, 1950, through September 27th, 1950, the United States wanted to see what would happen if a bacterial agent was released over San Francisco. So instead of using logic, something other than bacteria, anything else, they just decided to release actual bacteria over San Francisco.
Watch this. What the heck are you doing?
So instead of using anything other than bacteria, they decided to use two different types of bacteria. In their defense, they thought both kinds were harmless. The real fact is, they killed someone. The first type of bacteria that they used was Bacillus atrophius. Now, Bacillus atrophius is not harmful to humans, typically used for seeing how sterilization equipment works in an operating room. The second one that they used was Serratia marcescens. Now, like I said, in 1950, they thought this wasn't harmful. They thought it just left some red spots on fruit, did things like that. In reality, it's a large reason for UTIs, pneumonia, and wound infections.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
Now, the United States set up 43 different positions throughout San Francisco to measure where all this bacteria went that they sprayed from the sea into the city. The results were absolutely staggering. They found out that they blanketed a city of 800,000 people, every single one of them, man, woman, and child, in these bacteria. It actually traveled 23 miles inland. 23 miles. Over the coming weeks, 11 people were admitted to the hospital, 10 of them with serious UTI infections, and one man, Edward Nevin. He had just recently had prostate surgery, and he was admitted for an infection to his heart. And ultimately, he died.
Doesn't make sense.
The residents of San Francisco had no idea any of this happened. A lot of them died not knowing that they were infected this way. Nobody knew until 1977. In 1977, there was a congressional hearing with the Army Attorney General, Assistant Attorney General, and they finally admitted to doing this not only to San Francisco, but 239 cities over 20 years from 1949 to 1969. In 1969, Nixon finally got rid of all of the biological weapons that we had. And around this time, Edward Nevin III, referred to him as Eddie, found out what caused his grandfather's untimely death. Edward Nevin recalled, and I quote, "I remember sitting in a 41 Chevy, my family's car, outside, waiting for my parents who went in to see him. They did not want children in there." End quote. He had no idea about any of these complications, anything that happened to his grandfather, until 1977. Now, Eddie, in his age, grew up to be a trial lawyer. Being a trial lawyer, he learned everything of what happened to his family and to many others. So he sat his family down all 67 of them, and convince them to go to war with the US government. Now this trial was nothing short of a show. Think Judge Judy mixed WWE. At one point, an army general threatened to go fist to fist with Eddie outside the courtroom.
Feeling strong, my friend? Call me Elf one more time.
He's an angry elf.
Now, the military tried to argue that his grandfather was a coincidence. Some coincidence that happened at the same time they were spraying the exact same bacteria over San Francisco. They also tried to argue that they had immunity to do this because they were just following orders. In the end, the Nevins lost their case. They did appeal to the Ninth Circuit Court, which they also lost. They then appealed to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court denied to even hear the case. Eddie later admitted that he never thought they would win, but they had a story that needed to be told, that needed to be seen. It needed to be out there, farther than a congressional hearing. Eddie said, and I quote, "We still had to tell the story. To have a citizen submitted to that kind of risk is awful."
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
I know Mengele was involved in this. Just can't prove it.